Hi guys. Well, kind of in a movie slump, but I worked on this a little bit last night. This, we'll show you what it is in a minute. This is a lower idler bearing here. The bearings were froze up and the chain came around here and I guess rubbed a hole in it. I did 3 shorts on it, or 4 shorts, I don't know how much it was. But I had the one bearing all heated up cherry red, put a puller on it, and the puller just said, no, we ain't doing that. So I ended up cutting them off with a whiz wheel. And I think I showed, it didn't take probably, I bet it didn't take 5 minutes to knock those things off. I cut this here, then knocked the race off. Then this one here I cut just one time and put a little screwdriver in it, expanded it, came right off. I got a little nick in here that really isn't going to affect anything at all. So that's what's going on there. You never have enough turtles. I made these. Let's see, there's another piece of it. Here it is over here. These go down to the wood splitter. Been kind of negligent on making videos. I haven't really made any videos. I had stockpiled a bunch. Oh, there's the other piece. That goes to the top of the thing I'm going to show you in a little bit. Anyhow, trying to go a different way, but let me show you. Every which way you go on this sawmill, you have it ain't as easy as it sounds. Okay, yeah, just put this thing on there. Okay, that's one thing. Now measure from you're looking about 5 or 6 inches here. Okay, 5 or 6 inches. Now there's a bearing that's set on here, so from there the bearing would sit further out than this shaft, so you'd probably be at about 7 inches. Whoops, when I'm looking at one thing I can't look at the other. So you're looking at about 6 or 7 inches clearance out to this edge. That doesn't mean anything until we get down to the sawmill and you go, oh crap. Now another thing I did, why I haven't made a movie, is I drove up Pennsylvania yesterday and got ethanol free gas, and you know that label maker, everything kind of gets labeled. I don't know if you can see that, but those get labeled so I don't make a mistake and put on the wrong thing. So now we're going to go down to the sawmill, and remember that piece there. I should have driven in forward. I'm still kind of getting over that cold that I caught at the Bunyan show, but I was going to go out and show you what I was working on, but Mrs. freaking Jeep is out there and she's not too kind to be on camera, so we're not going to go out there. But I've got great big piles. I guess you can see that one, even though it's right over here on this edge. Ooh, where's the camera? Right there. There's 3 big piles of briars that I've been pulling out that been cutting me up and tearing me up for years. Well, we've been burning for 3 days, burning them. If I put them in the woods, I'm afraid they might reroot and take off again, so I really didn't want to do that. But I'm having kind of in a slump of making movies because I don't know where to start and where to end and what to do and stuff like that. You saw the ones where I dragged the wood out of the fire, and I think I showed you where I had it all down here. I'm not sure. Then I was going to cut that big, that's about I think that's 30-some inch piece of wood that they dropped. That was one of the pieces that they dropped at the neighbor's house when they thought they were dropping it at my house, which it wasn't. Then I got a video of fixing this thing. This thing's fixed. I cut maybe 6 inches off of it, and you wrap it with tape and then cut it so it doesn't unwind itself, and put it on, and I might tape it up because you can see all those little burrs on it, but I do that every now and then. When you're getting it in, if you mix up these two here, which is easy to mix up because I'm old and senile, if you push the winch in, okay, then it'll pull it off. All it does is it just pulls it through the end and frays that last 6 inches. Or if you hit this one here, which extends this out because I lock it onto there, that does the same great trick. So then I wanted to get some of this cut up or split up. I got it all cut up. That's that wood that we got from around the corner. But I got the bucket occupied with a bunch of maples, so I'm gonna split that up tonight and get it out of the way. But I don't know what to do with it exactly. I kind of like keeping the wood in the wood pile. Oh, I didn't bring a ruler over with me. if you can see that thing that's going, well, this piece here, this is an overhead chain drag, and I like to put it on because I want to get, that's the only reason I'm not sawing with this sawmill, because I don't feel like crawling down that hole and getting that sawdust. Other than that, this sawmill will run. But here's one of the problems. Like a dummy, I didn't bring the ruler over. Like I said, I'm not really with it. I got to clean the truck off too. Get the ruler. Remember that 6 or 7 inches? Well, when you're putting things together and you're not a real good designer, there's some things that you don't go on. Now I was going with a blower, but they wanted over $1,000. It's probably up to $1,500 for the hose to go from here to over there. $1,500. That seemed, and that was something that could wear out, I guess. I don't know. Metal tubing down there on the ground would probably just rust out, probably is good. Then I thought about 100-pound propane tanks and weld them together. I might still go that way. Here's some of the problems with this right here. Remember that amount of inches that you had? Well, if you look between this spot here and this wall here, okay, you only got about 4 inches. So that means this wall has to come out. This is a retaining wall for all the dirt that's back here. See, this isn't deep. Now I did put a double retaining wall in here, and the reason that I did this is because as this dirt over here expands and contracts, I wanted it pushing against this piece here as opposed to this piece here, because this is against the framing down here. I didn't want anything pushing on the frame. So all these walls here and all these walls down here are all doubled. So as it freezes and pushes and stuff like that, oh, you can't see it, but it's all doubled, because like I said, when I did the other mill, you kind of learn things that you didn't want to do with this mill, or learn things. So this is all there's a board here and there's a board here, so this can push in and push out and not affect this part here at all. It's not, they're not touching, or not touching that much that it, you know, I guess there's some that's going to have to touch. Anyhow, that's the problem with that, number one. Number two is the birds crapping all over everything, man. I'm going to have to do something about that. This thing gets a top saw. The top saw, now I have this piece in here just as temporary, this 2-inch angle. The top saw goes in that hole and that hole, okay? So it's nothing to cut this off or get this out of the way, but I might have to move it more this way. But I don't want to go to a whole bunch of engineering or backwards engineering or whatever to find out that when I want to put this top saw on, it isn't going to work. So I should theoretically put the top saw on next, but I just don't feel like getting into that yet. And this will get a pulley that goes off of this, a 10-inch wide belt that goes up to this, to a shaft that'll be right about in this vicinity here, because the top saw sits here, but it sits up in this area here in front of that saw. So if you can kind of visualize that, we're getting into, I guess the sun's getting you if I get over this way. We're looking at a saw, a 36-inch saw up here. It might start to get in the way there. Looks like a scratch on there, doesn't it? I don't know. Anyhow, so I'm working on that. I'm also working on this. This is kind of slowly fading away, so I'm working on the other blade so it won't fade away. There's still a lot of good names on it. It still looks kind of pretty, but it's not as nice as it looked when it was new. Look at this. Hard working man, Heath and Rachel. How you guys doing? There's Chris Killinger. There's Mrs. Frickin' Jeep. Lot of good names on B&B Builder and Rustic Buildings. Anyhow, so I wanted to come down and see what I got down here. So I got a 1/4-inch plate, 11 inches wide, bored a hole through it, and took a shaft off another buzz saw. that was an old buzz saw that I had in the back, didn't make any difference. And then made a 2-inch, I guess, bushing to go in here. And then put it on with the collar, which is here. So I like that. I like that a lot. So I found I was going to do that again instead of making all this stuff. That goes on there like so. Look at that. Just enough room for the blade. I thought there was enough room that I could get some of the I got stuff on here to keep it from sticking. Anyhow, so somebody had one on sale for 40 bucks. A buzzsaw. It was just the blade and the mandrel. So I was going to take it and cut it off like I did this one and make this other setup and put it over here. I do have to put a couple more beams in here and a support here to hold it all, because that new saw wants to go there. But then I'm also looking into putting something on here so it won't fade anymore. I don't want it to fade anymore. Some of these names, some of that magic marker stuff really wasn't too magical, was it? Or maybe it's magical and it's disappearing. Karen Creek, ZZ Mark, upside down. Come on, get upright. Anyhow, that's some of the issues. Now to put that saw up, which I already kind of started on that, I float around. I'm like a ping pong ball in a wind tunnel. I bounce off everything. So I got to take the cross braces off, which doesn't particularly bother me. And do that. So that's some of the stuff I'm working on. Down here, lordy. Haven't even started this saw in a long time. Well, dinner time. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see it in the screen. I guess you can, if I can see it by my eyeballs, you can see it. They come over there and get into the apples every night, and all that stuff up there that I trimmed, I might go back up there and get that snow blower, plow, trash compactor. Don't you need a trash compactor on your sawmill? This is the cherry that I want, aren't cherry. I can't think. That's the blower I redid. So that was a good intention, but hadn't worked out yet. But might go back to that. This is the maple from my backyard. This is the smaller stuff that really doesn't need splitting, and that's that, but it's cut in oddball lengths, so it won't stack anywhere nice. So then I got leaves coming up. You know, that takes 15 loads of leaves, even though I got one, a couple buckets there. That bucket there is a big bucket. I think that one's, it might be over 8 foot wide, 96, it's at least 96. Well, I got a tape in my pocket. That's a big bucket. Let's see what this one is. And this one was okay, at 96 inches. Okay, but to make it good for wood, I gotta cut this off of here and straighten that up so it'll hold more wood. And you gotta you don't want all those rivets in there. It's a big snow bucket. If you haven't ever been here before, that's a upside down wood splitter that goes on the Bobcat. So I guess what I'm going to do now, just playing around, I want to see if the old wood splitter will start. Somewhere I got a tripod over here. I had this on the tripod, then I took it off the tripod. Man, we're walking around all over, putting some mileage on these feet. There's that big chunk of wood. How far? I guess while we're measuring, it's further down here. No, that's 40 inches. Huh. It's bigger than I thought, but it's got a lot of swell. Well, not that much swell there. But I already marked it. I was going to do a video cutting that off, which I probably will, and then use that upside down splitter and make it into little pieces that are manageable. If it's like that, it won't roll. When you have those big oaks over there that are heavier than I can pick up, okay, but if they roll, you can just roll them right in. So that's that oak that I got, like I said, from up around the corner. You saw me loading it 3 times. That kind of got chewed up in time, but it's supposed to rain on the weekend, so I won't get anything done then. So we're gonna just kind of see if this opens up. And another problem I got, everybody's got it. It's getting dark early. Now you guys know I don't get out of bed early, but like yesterday, I went to up to get gas that was not didn't have alcohol in it. That alcohol ruins more stuff. I don't know, the politicians that voted the alcohol in, or whoever they were, they probably don't even drive cars. They probably don't even have a lawnmower. You know, I think you got to get some politicians that are a little bit more down to reality than what we have in there right now. They just don't have much concept of the world, the real world. They don't have much common sense of what the real world is about. Another thing I'd like to do before winter is get that so it goes on top of here, because that tarp is starting to get a little religion. Been rained quite a bit. But let's see, where was I? Yesterday I went up and spent 2 hours getting the fuel, because it takes about an hour up, an hour back, and so then I got sidetracked on all that stuff up there. I've got a couple days on that briar patch up there, and then today it was off to get shots, so that kind of screwed up today. I got water running down my leg from that. Let's see if this thing will start. Well, that was good. That was good. We got fuel coming up. That's good. Last time I did it, it was spraying out down there. It looks tight. Doesn't like choking. At full speed anymore, guys, because I'm just not that fast. You get it too fast, you get your fingers caught in it, don't you? That was sad, but anyhow, it's running. So I'm gonna chop up that maple, probably throw it on the fire and start a fire tonight. I'm trying to think what else. I showed you that thing over there, the sawdust drag. I think I'm gonna go in there and chop that up and change that around. I want to get this filled up, covered up, and taken out of my way. I think I'm gonna put them up in the field up there. I wanted to get on my elevator, which in this picture you can't see the elevator anymore, but I wanted to work on the elevator a little bit. So that's what I hope to get done. I hope to get a little bit done. If I get some splitting done, I'll bring you guys back and show you some splitting, but that'll be down the road. I still have a couple more videos of probably of the sawing up at the Carroll County show, and I don't know what I'm putting on some old videos right now that I took, and I got a couple more of the Bunyan show. I apologize for the Bunyan show because, you know, I was kind of in my area there, and it was kind of tough getting out and do a show. You know, I remember picking that log up. That's an ash log. I remember just picking it up, but I had to go back and review the video to see where I got that from, because that wasn't up from around the corner. I'm losing it, guys. In fact, that one and that one, where did they come from? Oh, okay, I know where that was. That was over there. I just picked that up. I'm not real fond of ash. I don't care for ash a whole lot. This is the potato patch. This is what's left of it. Kind of cut through and mashed it down a little bit. That's what's left of the garden. Hadn't frosted out. You could probably pick a little tomato here and there, but that's about it. Got all the things hanging up. Anyhow, that's about it. I am going to go get the bobcat and come up and get my bucket empty so I can load some of these up and do some fast splitting. You guys know I got the fastest wood splitter on YouTube. and I hope you come back and see it. I have a can of non-alcohol gas because I think I have alcohol gas in that right now, and I want it to run out. So I plan on running out of gas. That's what I want to do. So I get alcohol-free gas in it with stabilizer in it, because I don't know how much more wood splitting I'll be doing this year, but I just don't want, I definitely got to get the alcohol gas out of there. I'm almost positive there's some of that in there. And so that's where I'm at. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll throw a couple short Bunyan movies on. I might put 2 5-minute Bunyan movies on, and I think there might be another sawing up there. I hope to get to sawing some of those logs out of the front yard down at Jeffrey's probably next week. It just depends on when he needs it. I haven't talked to him. I don't know if I've talked to him since I got back from Bunyan. Anyhow, that's where we're at. I'm gonna close this one out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend if you want to have them see some fast wood splitting and crazy nonsense going on. I am about to go get the Bobcat and come back up here and do a little bit of splitting. We'll see you now. Bye-bye.